See that there are 56 orphanages, and in these orphanages there are 2,232 children. Of them, 237 children have lost both parents, and 1,466 children have lost single parent. The parent who has died would be the breadwinner, most likely the father. And it is unfortunate to note that there are children who have both parents but living in orphanages. These children amount to a number of 529. The reason for these children being taken out of the known environment and placed in orphanages is because of the abject poverty that these people are going through. I need the number. And then the total number of orphans, ladies and gentlemen, is 1,414. And of them, only, when I say orphans here, these children have lost both parents. And of them, 237 children are only residing in institutional care. And hence, what is happening to the rest of the children? They are living in the community with relatives, most likely with grandparents, uncles and aunts, or with close friends. The next is the problem in this area is problem in relation to the educational infrastructure. There are school dropouts amounting to about 10% of the school-going population. And of them, and there is another population of children amounting to 799 children, 0.6% of the population, who have not attended school at all. They have never gone to school. These records are for 1 year, the year being between 2006 and 2007. And of these children, there are a certain group who are unable to perform at their optimum in school, that is rated as school poor stage on the records. And they amount to about 3,333. And the worst affected area is Eravurpattu. Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, these children face a lot of hardships in these areas due to the prevailing underprivileged status. They are taken into or they face cheap domestic labor, illegal adoption, worst of all, child abuse of all nature, and the worst case, sexual exploitation. According to official records of 2006, there have been 202 reported cases of sexual exploitation. But as you know, this would not not show the full number. This is extremely underrepresented. This is to show how the children attend school, the overcrowding, not enough desks. You could see children sitting on desks. It's quite a sad state at the moment. And these children try their level best to get themselves to school. And this is another picture depicting how these children try their hardest to get to school, which would look something like this, open to all elements, and this might be reasons for why they are unable to perform very well in school. And this is a boy who has never attended school, and there are a lot of children like this who have difficulties attending school due to the prevailing situation there. And this is another makeshift school in one of the interior parts of Batticaloa. This is self-explanatory. And there are other problems. The other vulnerable group are widows, amounting to 22,115. and the income of 98,287 families is less than Sri Lankan rupees 1,000, which is about £5 per month. And as you see, this would amount to about 50% of the total population of the Batticaloa district. Yet again, there are 35,335 families without drinking water facilities and another 48,573 families without proper toilet facilities. And this, as you know, is a typical example of what happens when the women become the sole breadwinners of the family without proper income and proper skills. They are unable to find proper employment. And this is another picture. And this again is to show how difficult it is to access proper water. And this is another picture of a similar nature. And why, ladies and gentlemen, are these people suffering like this? The main contributory factors would be the repeated floods which these areas face due to the northeast monsoon, which affects these areas year after year. The other one, as the eastern cross faces the turbulent Bay of Bengal, it is in the path of cyclones. And the last cyclone was in 1978, and from which the people have not really recuperated. And the onslaught of the last tsunami of 2004 took its toll. And also the civil war, which has been spanning the area for the past 2 decades and which is ongoing, is not helping these people's motivation. This is how people are during the regular floods. And the other is the cyclone of 1978, where people lost, there was extreme loss of life and damage to property, and most of all, the 90% of the coconut plantations were destroyed. As you know, this would have had a toll on the livelihood of these people. And there will be another short video clip on the tsunami, so I'm not going into details as a lot of publicity has already been given to the tsunami. And as you know, the civil war which has ravaged the area for the last 2 decades, where 100,000 people, according to records, have died, most in the north and east regions. And from what we know, about 15,000 people have died in the Batticaloa district alone, with 32,956 families affected. When you say families affected, it would be that they have lost a limb or a person in the family. And of late, the most recent exodus of Vaharai and other areas has taken a toll on the motivation of these already underprivileged people. And according to records, 300 people had died, and there are refugees amounting to 150,000. As you know, we cannot confirm the amount of permanent refugees, as some people have already returned back home to uninhabitable homes. Some continue to live in refugee camps, and others have left the area. This is a recap of what happened during the exodus of Vaharai. And this is the mass exodus. And this, as you know, where this boy is waiting at the checkpoint to cross, and he's injured without help. People are exposed to all the elements. And this is a destitute child, a refugee of the Vaharai exodus. Just to kind of recap the amount of problems these people are going through with difficult living conditions, loss of limb, again difficult living conditions, And I'm sure you can see that if we do not help as the diaspora community, what would be the future of these children? Now for a short break with a recap of the tsunami and how the foster care program came into being and how it is going on.
எங்கும் மனித உடல்கள் மிதந்தன, சில கரையை ஒதுங்கின. எங்கும் உறவினர்களை தேடி அலையும் மக்கள். எங்குமே அவலக்குரல் ஒலித்தது, சோகமே உருவான மக்கள். மட்டு வைத்தியசாலை மட்டுமின்றி அனைத்து வைத்தியசாலைகளும் மனித உடல்களால் நிரம்பி வழிந்தன. கரையை ஒதுங்கிய சில உடல்கள் அவ்விடத்தில் எரிக்கப்பட்டன அல்லது புதைக்கப்பட்டன. பலருக்கு தங்கள் உறவினர்களின் இறந்த உடல்களையே காண முடியாமல் போய்விட்டது.
தந்தை வந்து உங்களுக்கு வயது சொல்லுவாங்க. உங்களுக்கு என்ன வயது? 15 வயது. அடுத்தவருக்கு 13. அடுத்தவருக்கு 10 வயது. அடுத்தது 7 வயது. குடும்பத்தில் 6 பேர் வந்திருக்காங்க. உங்களுக்கு யார் பார்த்து கொண்டு இருக்காங்க? 30 பேர் வந்திருக்காங்க. உங்களோட பிள்ளைகள் 3 பேர். மொத்தம் 3 எத்தனை குழந்தை இருக்குங்க? வருமானம் தங்கியிருந்தாங்க. என்ன வருமானம்? இதுவரையும் அவங்க உடலையும் பார்க்கல. மழை விடுமுறைக்காக நீங்கள் வந்து விடுமுறை போய் தங்கியிருக்கீங்க. நீங்கள் மட்டும்தான் அவங்க குடும்பத்தில் நீங்கள் இருக்கிறீங்க. அது அனைவரும் கூட இருக்காங்க.
இப்போ அதில் வந்து 3 சடங்குன்னா ஈடுபட்டு மக்கள் பிள்ளைகள் மனைவியர் வந்திருக்கு, 4 பிள்ளைகள் வந்திருக்கு, என் மாமியாரும் வந்திருக்கிறாங்க. இங்கே கொண்டு ஆற்றுலாம் விட்டு ஆற்றுல விட்டார் போது அந்த நேரம் நான் கட்டி கொண்டிருக்கும் போது என் மகளோட ஒரு நாள் வந்து அப்பா என்ற அவளுடைய சத்தம் கேட்டு இங்கே அவையும் பக்கத்தில் வைத்து காப்பாற்றி கொண்டு கரையை வந்தோம். கரையை வந்து இங்கே வந்து வீட்டில் பார்த்தா 7 பேரும் கிடைக்கவில்லை. இல்லை முன்னாடினா என் மகளுக்கு அண்டி தான் நான் பாட வேண்டும். அவளை திட்டு அலட்சியத்தை தான் நாம் பார்க்க வேண்டியது.
கணவர் வந்திருக்கேன். உங்களுக்கு எத்தனை குழந்தைகள் உங்களுக்கு? இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு கட் பண்ணித்தான் நீங்கள் கட் பண்ணித்தான் உங்கள் கணவரை நீங்கள் வந்த நிலையில் இந்த ஆதிமானில் இருந்து கொண்டு
வந்த வயதான் அவர் கொஞ்சம் இருந்தோம் மகளை நாம் கொண்டோடையா மகளை நாம்